I'm Gene Kelly. You've probably seen some of the other videos that I've done in this website. But this is a very special video. This is a video that's directed to the birth mothers. I've been doing adoptions for a long time, and I know that when a birth mother calls, she's nervous. She's not sure what her choices are. She has a lot of concerns about possibly placing a baby for adoption. But there's so much more that she needs to know about. Her life many times is very complicated, and there are things that you need to think about and know about. And many times when you're trying to find an adopting couple, or you're trying to select an adoption attorney or an adoption agency, you just don't know what questions to ask. You know what problems you have, but you just don't know what questions you have to ask. As an adoption attorney, I can give legal advice because I'm familiar with the law. There are issues that you're concerned about. You want to know about birth father's rights. You want to know about your rights. You're worried about possible legal problems, maybe even problems with the law. These are all questions that you really need to talk to someone that knows the law and knows how to handle them in the context of an adoption. There are so many issues that you have that really need to be properly addressed, and I'm prepared to do that. In fact, as I've mentioned on some of my other videos, I'll be glad to talk to you on the phone about it. There's no cost, no obligation. If you want to come in and visit with me, again, no cost, no obligation. The thing is that I want you to have a good understanding of the adoption process and what your rights are as a birth mother. There's a couple of things that I want to mention. That I've done approximately 800 adoptions, but I've probably worked with somewhere between 500 and 600 birth mothers. And the reason I've only worked with that many is because service that when some of these birth mothers find themselves in a position where they have to put another baby up for adoption, they come back to me. They come back because they were treated fairly. They were treated honestly. One of the things I want to mention right now is that today I had a situation come up and I needed to talk to an attorney in Springfield, Missouri. I've been on the internet. I've done everything in the world to find this attorney's telephone number. Other than the office number, there is no way to get in touch with him. If you are working with me or we're just interacting, I'll give you my cell phone number. And when you call, you're talking to me. You're not talking to staff or anyone else. And as you well know, that there are times when you need to talk to people who understand, I'm going to say, the law and understand the adoption process. I'd like to move on to a couple of other issues that I know you're concerned about. But one of the primary points that we follow in our office is the fairness issue. The number one person that we have to be fair to, and I'm sure you feel the same way, is that we have to get and recommend to you only the best couples for your child, because that's what your child deserves. And so that is our number one objective. And in my working with adopting couples, I always have that in mind. Number two, what we have to do is we have to be fair to the birth mother. What does that mean? It means that when you're working with our office, that when you go to bed at night, you don't have to worry about whether utilities are going to be on, whether you're going to have a meal for the next day, or whether you're going to have Pampers for your baby. These things are going to be properly addressed, and we're going to sit down and talk to you and work things out in a very fair and legal manner. The other thing is that I mentioned about the best couples. You're going to select the couple. You're going to have options, and you're going to have the opportunity to meet the family before you finalize the decision to work with them. And we do this in a very wholesome way, and I think you'll be glad to hear about it. And if you give me a call, we can go into more detail on it. The other thing is, when I talked about the best couples, I'm going to give you an example. The best couples, I'll tell you who they're not. They're not doctors, they're not lawyers, They're not the Rockefellers, and they're not movie stars. The best couples are couples that are from everyday life, that enjoy life, that take holidays, they have family traditions. They're going to give your child the opportunity to be all that he or she can be, with a college education if they're qualified for it. But you will pick the lifestyle and the type of home environment the child will be placed in. The other thing is that in addressing these problems, you need to call, you need to contact me. And if you do call and contact me, again, no obligation, but I can help. I can help anywhere in the state or out of state. We cover the entire region. And so if you want to have professional services that's going to be very understanding and have your best interest at heart, please give me a call.